You are watching CIOTV by Enterprise IT World, a production of Accent Infomedia.
Hi all, my name is Amit Singh. I head Zenlayer India. Zenlayer is a cloud compute and edge acceleration company. We are a very young company. We started sometime in 2014 and India is the youngest one among all the kids. So edge is a buzzword, people keep talking about edge. I keep talking about edge. So before I explain what edge is all about, let me just go back, take a step back and explain how and what are the problems that we face right now in building a digital ecosystem across. So can you just send the slide, please? Sorry. Okay, no problem. So let's keep talking. So I'm sure we all use OTT apps. We use Hotstar, we use Sony, we use so many other things to watch content all the time. So there's a technology behind it, which helps you accelerate things, which helps you have a better streaming experience. If you recall the olden days, whenever we try to download a video or we try to run an app, we always had this clock which was just moving. So yes, a lot has changed. India has changed. We are a growing digital economy, young country, average age 27, 28, English speaking population and huge population. So we've been growing, and that's the reason why Zenlayer, which is a US headquartered company, decided to venture into this market. And we established ourselves in 2020, and it's been good 2 years for us. We've established our nodes everywhere across. Are we ready? Okay. Again, teething problems. This is edge. Paresh, thank you. So that's edge, the last part of the network which helps you serve is the edge. And that's what we do. That's what Paresh also does. Okay, finally. Thanks. So like I said, let's talk about the problems first. What are the issues that a digital economy or a growing economy faces? Let's talk on those issues. So this is a experience that we all must have felt, in the COVID times when we all are working from home, there's a dispersed group, somebody on Teams, somebody on Zoom. So we all face this issue of a distributed access and people having issues in actually talking, actually going for a video call or engaging with the team. High cost of working with multiple options. You can't go with 2-3 options at home or within an organization. Unreliable application performance on public internet. I mean, internet is a network of network. There is no fixed path. There is no fixed route that you're going to get it. It all depends on your upstream and how it works. So I have tried to explain taking software as a base and explaining the issues that we felt. So if you see here, these are the source regions. Microsoft Teams source is US, and the acceleration region where we want it, it could be China, it could be India, it could be Southeast Asia. So we had a lot of issues in getting these softwares felt good, and used well. So that is where someone like us comes into play, and we help to ensure that the experience of these applications, whether it's software, whether it's on the infrastructure side, we do it well. So we talk about emerging markets here. What is an emerging market? If I have to ask, any market which is going from developed to a developing stage can be classified as an emerging market. India is an emerging market. If you see out here in the previous slide also, the source region is always US. So when internet started, it was always based in US. The content was all there. Slowly, it started shifting towards Europe. Now it has gone to Asia. So the acceleration regions are always the emerging markets where people want to go. It could be Latin America, it could be Southeast Asia, it could be China, it could be India. So just some perspective on the market. These are the markets that we operate. Zenlayer is very strong in the emerging markets. We are very strong in US, Europe, Middle East as well. Some tidbits on the Southeast Asian market. It's one of the biggest growing market, and it's a very, again, a young market and very active social media and social gaming users. The market is expected to reach 300 billion by 2025. India? Well, our population is 1.3. We are the biggest internet market, second largest after China. Adoption rate is very high. I mean, thanks to the 4G boom and the smartphone, we still have a lot of scope from going from the feature phone to smartphone market. Year on year increase is 23%. The government has been taking a lot of initiatives on the Digital India drive, and that's also helping us. Young country, English speaking. WhatsApp, we are on 400 million users. Facebook is around something like 250. Some interesting fact about Facebook is if India Facebook users were to be converted into a country, that would be the third largest population in the world. So that's what India is to Meta, to Google, and to Amazon. Opportunities in tier 3, tier 4. So this is interesting. If you see now, and stats show it, the internet growth is not happening in Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai. The internet growth is actually going into the tier 3, tier 4 cities. I mean, if someone had that short video app, maybe a TikTok or Chingari or anything, and if you see the people who are making videos, you'll actually see a hut behind, which has no plaster, which is nothing. It's a village. It's a small village somewhere in Odisha, somewhere in Jharkhand, somewhere in Raipur. So internet boom right now, what we are facing is actually in these cities. And that is where edge actually comes into play. And that is how you ensure that the experience is nice and improved. Again, 1 billion smartphone. Easy, we are a young country. The kids are on the phone. The old people are on the phone. Everyone is on the phone. So people are moving from the big screen to the small screen now. Digital catch-up, I mean, 53% of our population of 1.32 billion still have a scope to get digital and join the bandwagon. So why is it difficult in a country like India? Underdeveloped network infrastructure. I mean, that's a typical problem that we all faced. Let's say I'm going from here to a place in Bihar somewhere. The network is not consistent. The network is not fiberized. They have towers which are microwave, then fiber, then tower. And it's not easy to dig up a city or a country and lay a fiber across. Deployment cost, again, is very high. Not just the time, but the cost as well. Last mile issue, if you see northeastern part of India, the 7 sister states, their infrastructure is still a problem. It's not easy for you to lay a tower or lay a fiber. It's a hilly terrain, and you don't really get the experience that you need. The local laws, it's a little complicated with us. So if you compare this with US or Europe, it's either white or it's black. So it's either yes or it's no. But unfortunately in India, it's 10% yes, 10% no, and 80% is gray. It all depends on how you interpret that law. Sorry, one last point that I missed, and I think a lot of my friends here will agree, is the peering ecosystem in India. India is still not an evolved peering ecosystem in terms of network. The networks don't talk to each other. You don't get a telco A having good terms with telco B in good terms with telco C. So there's a lot of traffic which actually goes through multiple hops. And that is where your impacts your service performance. How to tackle the challenge? The answer is on the edge. So what is edge? So cloud is an architecture which is decentralized process, and it's the last element of your network. If I have to give a very simple example, we are a cricket crazy nation. If I'm playing cricket and a ball is hit somewhere, the fielder, which is the closest, who will go and pick up the ball, is that fielder is the edge. It's the last element of the network which is standing there and willing to serve that customer. For example, I have a user in Patna. He's accessing some content which is hosted in Mumbai. So now he has to come all the way from Patna. Sorry, I'm taking Bihar example because I'm a Bihari by heart. So you can take this as a Jalandhar or a Mohali or any other place. So the content has to come all the way from Patna to Mumbai. And that is where the experience goes for a toss. You have something called as latency, which is the fact that the network time it takes for the data packet to travel from one place to another. So the longer the distance, the bad is the experience. So now scenario 2, instead of getting that content all the way from Mumbai, then taking it back, I would suggest to build, or I would build a edge node somewhere in Patna or Kolkata, somewhere closer to that. And instead of backhauling it all the way to Mumbai, I serve that customer locally. So then the customer has a better experience. He likes the product. The network, which is whichever telco you take, whether it's Jio, Airtel, Voda, BSNL, the network is not loaded because he doesn't have to take the traffic all the way back from Patna to Mumbai, Mumbai to Patna. So that's where it comes. So how can edge be used? Edge can be used for compute. We can put a lot of compute power in the edge nodes. We can use it for networking. By cloud networking, I mean connecting to public cloud, whether it's GCP, AWS, IBM, anyone. It could be used for application acceleration, which is the CDN. I mean, we all use Hotstar, we all watch all these movies. So the technology behind that is a CDN, a content delivery network. So Zenlayer also does that. So again, why edge? Latency, which I just explained. The data has to travel in packets, an assigned source to another assigned source. So longer the distance, worst is the user experience. This is what we do. We are a leading edge cloud service provider. How far data has to travel? So this is what we do. We have 280 data centers across the globe. These are all in emerging markets and evolved markets, right from the US to Europe, to Middle East, to Indonesia, to Vietnam, to Malaysia. We are present in 40 countries. This is what we do. Again, we build the ecosystem here. We have 2,300 plus global peers, which ensures that the traffic is directly handed over to the eyeball network. For example, a user X with a mobile company Y, I straight away hand that traffic to that mobile network. I don't go it through multiple hops. Lesser the hops, the better is the user experience. I have 37 Tbps global backbone. That's huge. So these are some stats from Gartner. They feel that in 2019, the landscape was on-prem, 80%, public cloud was close to 19%, and 1% was the edge. And that's how it looks in 2025. I mean, on-prem is going to come down to 30, and edge is going to be the play where you will see 30% of compute acceleration residing there. So this is just a broad overview of what we do. So if you see this, we are there from the length and the breadth of the globe. These are POPs. So if I have to talk India, we are not just in the metros, the Bombay, the Delhis, the Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. We are there in tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. Cities as small as Bhopal, Agra, Lucknow, Patna, Nagpur. So we are building a lot of edge nodes in tier 2 and tier 3 cities because that's where the growth resides. We have connectivity to all the eyeball networks in the world. So we straight away hand over the traffic to that eyeball network. And we believe in partnership. So that's one of our strong points. In India, we work with all the partners. Few of the partners are sitting here, like Control S. We work with Sifi, we work with Equinix, we work with NetMagic, we work with everyone. So that's one of our strong points again. Some of our products that we offer. So we offer an edge data center. We offer IP. We offer bare metal cloud. So we offer cloud compute on rent. You can take the infrastructure from us, go online, spin up a server and use it. We offer networking, and I spoke about. We also offer global acceleration product. So let's say if I have to explain this product, if there's a gaming company and the user is in Mumbai and the gaming content is in somewhere in Moscow. So instead of taking it to the internet, I ensure that I take it on my private network. Gaming experience is better. Otherwise, the typical problem with India is that, if you take some games and by the time our guy picks up the gun, he's already shot. So we have a latency problem there. And this is what we've been doing. We are trying to improve the digital experience of every organization and person in this world since last 8 years. That's it. Any questions, please feel free to ask. Yeah, sure. So I can classify it into buckets. So one bucket that we do is infrastructure as a service. So we offer bare metal clouds, which is hardware on lease. We offer managed hosting. This is typically for the gaming community or the media community, where we customize it for them on what they need. The second bucket is the connectivity piece. So we have 280 POPs like what you saw. So we offer SDN, layer 2 connectivity between these POPs across. We offer connectivity to public clouds. We offer connectivity on SDN. We also sell a lot of IP transit. Unfortunately, in India, we are not doing it so far in a big way because we still don't have a license. So once we have a license, we'll surely do that business as well. But we have 4 entities. We have a US entity, we have a China entity, we have a Singapore entity, and we have an India entity. Our third product is the Edge products, where I offer CDN as a service, and I offer ZGA, Zenlayer Global Accelerator. That's a mixture of 2 of my products, my SDN and my IP. So these are the buckets that, so if I have to place myself, I'm not a hyperscaler like a AWS or a GCP. I'm not a telco like a Tata or a Airtel or a Voda. So I take the best of the hyperscaler world, I take the best of a telco world, and I mix it up. That's what Zenlayer is all about. And obviously, we bring a lot of element of flexibility, which sometimes becomes difficult with the big guys. So we have a hardware installed, and we run our own algorithms onto it. Yeah. So we have a lab in Singapore and Indonesia, and we run our own algorithms, own scripts onto it. So these are hardware deployments across the world that we've done. We typically use Dell, HP, and all these guys. Okay. Yeah. It's a mixed bag, to be honest. I mean, in China, you have to go with the Chinese vendor only. So in China, it's a different thing. Outside China is a different thing. Makes sense. Thanks for the question. Anything else? Anyone?
Any more questions for Amit?
I think we are good, yeah.
Amit, thank you for your presentation. And it's, as Amit said, best of both worlds is what you're providing to all your customers. That's quite a niche that you've drawn for yourself there. And I'm amazed by your global footprint. So I believe any corner of the world, you need some services that Zenlayer provides. This is the man to go to. So thanks a lot, Amit, for sharing your work.
Thank you, everyone.